It was Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2000. In the small town of Shelby, North Carolina. The night was cold, rainy, and dark. A 9-year-old girl named Asha Degree quietly packed her backpack in the middle of the night. Then she walked out the front door and vanished into the storm. No one has seen her since. Her story is one of the strangest and most haunting disappearances in modern America, because Asha wasn't kidnapped from her bed. She left on her own, and no one knows why. Asha lived with her parents, Harold and Asha Degree, and her older brother, Aubrey. They were a close family, strict but loving. Asha was shy, responsible, a good student who loved reading and basketball. She wasn't the kind of child to run away. That weekend started normal. On February 11th, the Degree family spent the evening together at home. The next day, Asha played in a basketball game at her elementary school. Her team lost and Asha was upset. She cried quietly in the car on the way home. But by that evening, she seemed fine again. She laughed while watching TV and went to bed around 8:30 p.m. Sometime after midnight, the power went out during a thunderstorm. At 12:30 a.m., her mother checked on her. Asha was asleep in her bed. When Aquila checked again at 2:30 a.m., she was gone. Her backpack was missing too. At first, her parents thought maybe she was hiding in the house or visiting a relative. But when they couldn't find her anywhere, panic set in. By 6:30 a.m., they called the police. Soon, the entire neighborhood was searching. Volunteers, canine units, helicopters. The community came together, but there were no signs of Asha. Then, a strange discovery. Several drivers reported seeing a young girl walking along Highway 80, about a mile from her home. She was wearing a long-sleeved white shirt and light pants, the same clothes Asha had worn to bed. It was around 4 a.m., cold rain pouring down. She was walking alone. One truck driver said he turned around to check on her, thinking it was strange to see a child walking that late. When he came back, she had run off into the woods. That was the last confirmed sighting of Asha Degree. Police began searching the woods along Highway 18. They found candy wrappers, a pencil, and a Mickey Mouse hairbow. Items later confirmed to belong to Asha, but no footprints, no sign of a struggle. It was as if she'd vanished into thin air. Investigators combed through her life. No history of abuse, no family issues, no online activity. This was the year 2000, long before social media. Asha was described as happy and well-behaved. Her parents were heartbroken and confused. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Then, in August 2001, a year and a half later, construction workers found something buried off Highway 80, nearly 30 miles away. It was a black Nike backpack, wrapped carefully in plastic. Inside were Asha's school papers and clothing. The backpack had been double-sealed, intentionally hidden, but there was no sign of Asha. That discovery reignited the investigation. Someone had taken the time to bury that backpack, which meant someone knew exactly what had happened. FBI agents joined the case, re-interviewing witnesses and analyzing every lead. One tip came from a motorist who said he saw a dark green 1970s Lincoln Continental or Ford Thunderbird near the area that night. Another came years later, in 2016, when an inmate claimed to know where her body was buried. Search teams dug at the site he mentioned, but found nothing. The Degree family refused to give up. They held candlelight vigils every year on Valentine's Day. They kept her room exactly as she left it, untouched, waiting for her to come home. Asha's disappearance gained national attention. She was featured on America's Most Wanted, The Oprah Winfrey Show, and countless true crime podcasts. Yet even with all that exposure, no solid leads ever emerged. One theory is that Asha was lured out of her home by someone she knew, possibly through secret communication or promises of gifts or adventure. Another theory is that she simply wandered off after her basketball loss, overwhelmed and confused, only to cross paths with someone dangerous. But the truth remains a mystery. In 2020, the FBI released new information. They said Asha might have been seen near a rural tool shed the morning she disappeared. Inside that shed, workers later found a photo of a young girl resembling her, though police never confirmed it was her picture. Even today, the case remains open. The FBI continues to investigate every lead, offering a $45,000 reward for information that leads to the truth. A digital age task force now analyzes cold data and new DNA technology to search for hidden clues. But for 25 years, Husha's family has lived with only questions. No body, no closure, only faith. Every Valentine's Day, her parents place fresh flowers near the highway where she was last seen. And every year, they repeat the same words. We will not stop searching until we bring Asha home. Maybe one day, someone will finally speak. Maybe one day, the silence will break. Until then, the image of a little girl walking alone in the rain still haunts the small town of Shelby. A reminder that even in the safest homes, darkness can find a way in. If you have any information about the disappearance of Asha Degree, contact the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office or the FBI. Even the smallest clue could be the one that brings her home. Thank you for watching Cold Case 5 Minutes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss another story. Every story deserves to be remembered.